This is the second task that you will encounter on the foundation writing paper. It is a task of 40 to 50 words, as you can see. The task is a formal task, therefore you will find that the is used, which means you, and you may find that these tasks also use ihr, which means your as well, although it's not on this particular task. So if the task is about 40 to 50 words, you're aiming for about 12 or 13 words per section. The first thing you should do is read the rubric. If you need to, you can highlight or underline things, but the rule with this one is really it's present tense, present tense, present tense, and then there will be something referring to the future, probably as your fourth bullet point, but that cannot be guaranteed. So how do you go about a task with just 10 or 12 words per section? For this task, I wouldn't worry too much about certainly using some of the vocabulary from the actual task itself. And big clues here, you can use man can here, you could use for teenager, you could use teenager können or Kinder können. In fact, they are small children. Okay. Right, well, I'm going to start off by saying there are lots of activities for young children. Es gibt viele Aktivitäten für junge Kinder, or kleine Kinder, it said there, didn't it? Für kleine Kinder. And then I'm going to say, for example, there is, gibt es, zum Beispiel, gibt es, there is a play area. What else? Okay, so it's a hotel, and perhaps there is a large garden, und einen großen Garten. And that's more than enough for the first bullet point, bearing in mind we're only writing a maximum of about 50 words. Then the second part asks you to say what teenagers, what there are for teenagers. So what about just saying teenager können? So we're using a different structure. Remembering that with können we've got to put our next verb at the end of the sentence. So teenagers can play tennis. There's probably some tennis courts there. So teenager können, tennis, and then put your play here, spielen. You could say because, using denn. Now that uses word order 1. Denn es gibt einen Tennisplatz. Of course, you have lots of hotels that have golf courses as well, so you could probably put that. Okay, third thing is what one can do in the evenings. So abends, so it's not going to be man can, it's going to be can man. So we're using the 3 words from the actual instructions themselves, absolutely nothing wrong with that. Abends kann man, so in the evening you can eat in a restaurant. So again, remember to put the essen at the end because you're using a modal verb. Abends kann man im Restaurant essen. And that's probably getting on for enough words because I've said lots of words for the other thing, but actually I think I'll say or what else, or what about do a little bit of karaoke, oder ein bisschen karaoke machen. Now we want some opinions, we've got to try and get some opinions in, and das ist simple opinions for this task. Das ist besonders lustig, and that is especially funny. And then lastly, events in der Gegend in den nächsten Monaten. So things going on in the coming months in the area. So again, let's start with in der Gegend. What is there? I'm going to say there is a carnival or a sports festival. What about a sports festival? In the area there is a sports festival. Gibt es ein Sport or a Musikfest, ein Sportfest. It is a special experience. Es ist ein tolles Erlebnis. And do you know what? That is probably enough. Have I linked enough? I possibly haven't actually. I haven't got a vial. So I'm going to put a vial on here actually, just to make sure that I've got enough complex stuff for this. It's a great experience because it is fun, weil es Spaß macht. Okay, so that's me just making sure I've got enough link words. Right, so that's just over 50 words, and that's taken me obviously 4.5 minutes. My German's good, but it shouldn't take you more than about 11 or 12 minutes in the exam.